Hi everyone, it's Sunday, June 26th, time for another HideNet Weekend Review. I'm Vera Jordick. Before I forget to mention, next weekend is the 4th of July weekend here in the US, and we'll be taking a break from our weekly videos then, so that we can have some fun too. Looking at the market this week, once again we're starting with Europe, where hides are in short supply, but prices are still on. Editor Andrea Guolo says that offers dropped sharply this week, and needless to say, slaughterhouses are having a challenge moving all the meat they have, so hides are fewer. In the UK, prices were relatively stable, but once again, there were hardly any sales to speak of. In England, the price is still 76 to 80 cents per kilogram in sterling for the 36 plus, but contracts were actually signed at 76 to 78 cents per kilo. Meanwhile, in Ireland, the price is still between 80 and 85 cents in euros. Unfortunately, European bulls are still being affected by the lack of automotive production, and there are far more hides than this sector can absorb. Northern German bulls sold at €1 per kilo for the 40 plus kilo selections, and even some formerly solid origins lost 10 cents this week too. For European cows, it was an odd situation because sellers were pushing for 5 cents more, but customers were not inclined to pay that. And in the veal sector, availability is also tightening up even as more expensive meat sales decline, so there are fewer calf skins. Meanwhile, sheep and leather garments are still going strong, although the season's about to come to an end. In his analysis, Andrea talks about the situation with offers versus purchasing and what the alternatives are, if any, for sellers. Turning to the US, prices were a tad higher on steers this week, and the market was a touch firmer. Heavy Texas steer prices are at $26 for the 62-64 pound selections, and the cow market is still seeing decent interest, but increases are really tough to get. Looking at the export totals, combined sales were high, rather to a huge volume of wet blue being sold. Combined export sales for the week ending June 16th were 696,900, which is still 7% less than the previous week's really high total. Combined shipments dropped by 28% at 497,300. Slaughter for the week was down just 1,000 head at 666,000. From South America this week, editor Ronald Guiel reports that raw material prices continue to slide lower. The average price is now 2.25 reals per kilo. However, the reference price of TR1 is still holding steady at 82 cents per square foot. In other news from Brazil, component exports for footwear totaled $175 million so far in 2022. And Riva shoe, which was in Italy about a week or two ago, is expected to generate 38 million for footwear in Brazil. From elsewhere in Latin America, Argentina's average carcass weights are up by 7%. In Mexico, the CICEG and Fondos Guanajuato joined forces to benefit entrepreneurs there. And in Uruguay, Marfrig launched its carbon footprint measurement tool that it had developed in Brazil. So that's all we have for this week, and we'll see you in 2 weeks. And for now, good night from HideNet.